If you don't know where your relationship stands with running, you will after today, because I'm going to tell my story in terms of how I went from hating running to being obsessed with it. And over the past 2 years, I've gone through 5 stages of running, and I've seen similar stories from other people online and just people I've talked with. So I know you'll be able to relate with some part of my story, and hopefully it'll help you grow as a runner when you see how I've progressed as a runner myself over these 2 years. The first stage of this 5-step journey is, of course, hatred, and this is actually where most people are. The average person on the street, you go talk to them, they're gonna say they hate running, which makes sense. Running isn't something easy to get into, and it really isn't enjoyable until you do it for a while. So it makes sense that this is the most popular stage, hating running. But for me, this stage was actually before my 2-year journey of running actually started. And from the time I can remember until I was out of high school, I hated running. And for me, it was really just because running was a punishment for the sports that I was in. Before high school, I wrestled and I played football, and in those sports you don't run really ever. I mean, I guess in football a little bit, but yeah, running was a punishment during practices. And then when I got into high school and started playing soccer, I kind of eased up a little bit on running as a punishment, just because in soccer you do it so much, but I still hated it. And that's really all this stage is. And for me, it was, like I said, until I was out of high school that I didn't start opening my eyes up to what running can actually be for me. Now, stage 2 is really the catalyst that starts your journey from going from hating running to being obsessed with it. And of course, for me, this was the case. And stage 2 is curiosity. And what this means, and what most commonly happens, is that you see someone else running. You see someone complete a race, and it kind of interests you, and it kind of makes you curious, not so much interested, but it makes you curious, because at this point, you're not totally convinced and you're not ready to start running yourself, but running's in your mind now. And for me, this was seeing my mom run her first half marathon at the start of high school I was in when she did this, and that sparked my curiosity. This was also at the same point when I started running a lot more due to soccer. And so kind of with those two things in mind, like I kind of started already loosening up on how much I hated running, and started to kind of get curious about running. So the hatred and curiosity, in my case, they kind of overlapped a little bit in high school. And this same thing can be seen in my story, with stage 2 overlapping with stage 3, going from curious into being interested. Being interested is stage 3 of this running journey. And for me, it was watching Nick Bare's marathon video, his race video, where he ran a 2:39 marathon at the CIM marathon. That got me really interested in running. And I saw that video my first semester of college. And from that point, I was super interested, and I even started running on my own outside of soccer training. And this is just a very important stage of my running journey, because this is where it all actually started. This 2-year journey of me actually, doing running and getting to the point where I am today, all started with me watching this Nick Bare video and starting running myself. And then signing up for my first race, which was a half marathon. And from that point on, it's just been a snowball effect of chasing more goals and, really growing into the sport of running. And that brings me to stage 4 of this journey, which is absence, And what I mean by this is when, yeah, you were interested, you got into running, you did a little bit, and then for some reason you stopped running, and you actually start missing the running. You kind of feel like there's a part of you missing without running in your life. And for me, this was after I ran my first half marathon, which I ran the race. I got a really good time, and then I just stopped running for a few months for no particular reason. I guess I didn't know what I was going to do next for running. And I just stopped running entirely. And during those few months that I wasn't running, like I said, I felt like something was missing, and that was running. And really that's what has led me to stage 5, which is obsession. That's what's led me to have this obsession with running. The fact that I missed running when I wasn't doing it, when I felt like something was missing in my life, it led me to become obsessed with running, because when I started running again, that feeling went away, and since that I started running again, I haven't stopped. And it's been so good. I ran my second half marathon and got an even faster time, and now I am signed up for 3 races at the moment. 2 are in 2026 yet. They're both in the fall of 2026. And then I've got another race in April of 2027. And then I have another plan for my 4th race, but I can't sign up for that one yet because it hasn't happened this year yet. So registration hasn't opened. And of course, one of those races is my first marathon in the fall, and I plan on going fast at that marathon. And it's just, these goals keep stacking up and becoming more ambitious. And that's just the obsession of running showing in my life. At this stage of your running journey, you seem to always want more out of running. And I mean, that's how it is for me. And it's super rewarding. And I just wanted to share what my journey has looked like and what it could look like for you if you got into running and you got over that first stage, that first hump of hating running. As always, links are down in the description for my go-to supplements and fitness apparel from First Form. Love their stuff. So if you want to go check that out, links in the description. And if you like the content, don't be afraid to like and subscribe if you want, so you don't miss any new content. And if you want to continue watching, you can watch this video right here, which is all about how I manage and balance my time with school, sports, and training for lifting and running. So go watch that. And thank you for making it to the end of this video. Peace.